evening, this is BelGeode and we are back with some Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. Woohoo! This is the North American T-6G Texan. This is a freeware plane that I got from flyawaysimulation.com, and I've actually been meaning to fly this sucker around. I wanted to do it originally when we were in Texas, but time and everything else didn't allow for it. So I figured we'd do it now since we're back here in Pittsburgh, and I really haven't had a chance to show you the area that I live in real life. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And as you can see, the textures on this are not too shabby. Not too shabby for a freeware there. I mean, obviously they didn't go like all out like Alabama or Carinata or some of the others. But you can see both cockpits definitely look like cockpits, and everything is pretty much fully functional in there. And of course you got a nice view because of the T6 canopy. You can see just about everything. So it's pretty awesome. I like it. For freeware, not bad. Alright, let's go ahead and get this puppy started here. There's a couple of things that I need to set before I turn the engines on. If you look in the lower left corner, you'll see me adjusting my fuel cock, so that way I've got the tanks on, or at least accessible. And then on the dash, in the lower left of the dash, right now I'm turning the magnetos on. There's obviously more to it than that in the real-life Texan, but to save on time, we're just going to control E here. There we go. This bird is coming to life. Oh, listen to that engine. That is awesome. That is the sound of a radial engine. That is a beautiful thing, let me tell you. Okay, so we are pretty much set to go. So before I actually call a tower, I want to show you a little bit of the outside of the plane, because of course, just like everything else that I own, I can't leave well enough alone. I got to modify it for my own specifications. Hang on, let me turn the lights on here and then I'll show you the outside of the plane. I added a few views to this. This view was the only outside view that it came with. So I had to add like some extra views in there so you could see different angles of the plane. And those flaps are noisy as hell. Holy crap. Alright, let's go ahead and call for clearance. Pittsburgh ground, experimental November Victor Foxtrot 27, request taxi for departing straight out with Yankee.
Experimental November Victor Foxtrot 27, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 28 right via taxiway November. Contact tower on 135.025 when ready.
Cool beans. Taxiing hold short, runway 28 right via taxiway November, experimental Foxtrot 27. So yeah, this is one of the new views that I added in there, and you'll notice the pilot I changed so that he looks like me. I love this head-on view, and especially the fact that this is a tail dragger. It has like an interesting angle, so that should be cool. I'm just going to check the controls real quick while I'm at it as we run up here. This is another view that I added. I've also got a view from the other side. Hang on, I'm still checking controls here. I'll show you like all the various views as we go through this flight here. And one thing that I will mention is I'm using the Marine Corps skin in honor of the two Marines who basically saved the lives of people in France on a train by stopping a terrorist. So this one's for you guys. I'm gonna have this skin on this plane in your honor. So there we go. Alright, so we're taxiing out. November is a straight shot to the runway. Now this is an interesting little camera angle that I had to put in there. You know I like to do the touchdown cam. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, there's another plane that's going to be heading to 28 right. Alright, cool. Well, we'll probably run into them when we get there. We should probably be there before they get there, actually, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I had to make this view because I absolutely love views from the wheels or from the landing gear. So that's why this one exists. We'll be using this a little bit too. Alright, in the meantime, I am going to slow us down here because you can see runway 28 right, dead ahead. I actually used to work in that office building off to the right there. Needless to say, the scenery that we're looking at is, of course, the default FSX scenery, except for this airport, which I modified naturally. The buildings that you see around there are not exactly in the right spots like they would be in real life, but I know that that particular building that we just passed there is a rough approximation of the office that I used to work in. So there we go. Alright, here we go. We are at 2-8 right. I'm going to go ahead and put the brakes on. And see, I managed to stay close to the center line this time. Okay, Pittsburgh Tower, and request clearance. Pittsburgh Tower, experimental November, Victor Foxtrot 27, ready for departing, straight out, runway 28 right.
Experimental November, Victor Foxtrot 27, cleared for takeoff, runway 28 right, departing straight out, approved.
Sounds good to me. Cleared for takeoff, runway 28 right, experimental Foxtrot 27. Alright, so before this other guy in the Mooney gets here, we're going to go ahead and close our canopy. There we go. And latch it shut. Perfect. Alright, now we're ready to go. Okay, so let's waddle onto the runway here and see if I can line this sucker up. I'm not very good with tail draggers because of the fact that there's that differential braking and stuff, so if I start swerving here and there, don't hold it against me too much. I don't really have a lot of experience with tail draggers, virtually or otherwise. But this looks about good, so I'm going to go ahead and bring her to a stop right here. And we'll get ready for my usual ritual. There we go, we got the takeoff cam, or the landing cam, and we're going to go brakes down, throttles up. Alright, so buckle your seatbelts, folks. I'm about to take you on a grand tour of the greater Pittsburgh area. Ooh, look at that. Already catching some wind here. I'm loving this. Alright, let's see if we can rotate up before I slide off the runway anyway. And we're airborne. Love it. I love how the wheels come to a stop there. Alright. Okay, and while Mooney's getting in place here, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my gear. Looking good. Okay, so we're going to go out on runway heading until Mooney's in position, and then we'll veer off to the left. We'll go to the south of the airport and follow the parkway, and we will head towards Pittsburgh, downtown Pittsburgh, that is.
Mooney, November 59056, cleared for takeoff, runway 28 right, departure to the east, approved.
Okay, so Mooney's got his clearance. That is my cue. We're going to bank to the left here. Love this view, especially in real life. Alright, so there's that head-on cam I was telling you about. Pretty sweet. And now you get a better view of Pittsburgh International Airport. Notice the terminal is shaped like an X. There's actually two terminals there. There's one that's an E shape to the left of it, so it looks like EX. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm not going to talk to anybody just yet. I know where we're going, but I'm not going to like call for clearance or anything like that. We're just going to fly. So yeah, I started to tell you you've got the land side and the air side terminal. The land side terminal is the one that's the E. That's where like the ticket counters and everything are. That's where you come in. And then there's a little short subway that you go into to get from the land side terminal to the big X terminal, the air side terminal. So it's pretty neat. Probably like about a 2-minute ride underneath the airport, and then you pop out, hop on the escalators, and next thing you know, you are in the terminal. I love the layout of that terminal. And on this side of the airport, the eastern side of the airport, we have the Air Force. This is the 171st refuel wings, so those are KC-135s. They are actually there in real life. There's also the 911th Airlift wing, which those are C-130s. They are based on the other side, close to where I park my plane. When they used to have air shows at this airport, pretty much that catty corner runway there that we're looking at, they would utilize that as a staging area for, you know, where the showgoers would actually stay, and then they would use one of the longer runways to actually have the planes go out and do their air show demonstrations. Unfortunately, they no longer have the air show in Pittsburgh, and I am really, really sad about that. Okay, so we're following the parkway here. This is I-376. I think we're going to take a look at where I live. You can see downtown Pittsburgh off to the left side of my canopy there. Right below us is going to be the parkway, and there's another parkway that crosses it. That is I-79, which runs north to south. I-376 will take you from the airport to downtown, and then it'll continue heading east towards areas like Latrobe and, you know, central and then eastern Pennsylvania. Where I live is where I'm going to show you next, and I'm pretty sure I can find it based on these roads here. I know this is virtually speaking, and yeah, it's kind of a rough approximation, so if you can suspend your disbelief, I'll kind of give you an idea where I live. Alright, so here we have the interchange here, I-79 and I-376. I'm going to continue following 376 till we get to Chartiers Creek, which is the little river looking thing halfway down there. That town is Carnegie. Carnegie is one of the places that I've lived. I've lived in Carnegie for like many, many, many years. And just to the south of Carnegie, we're going to kind of veer to the right here, is Heidelberg, which is the actual town that I live in. So there you can see the Chartiers Creek, and you see where it kind of makes that little loop around there? Right in this neck of the woods here is my neighborhood. So you've got the interstate right there. You've got the main drag, which is Washington Pike, or Route 50. Is it 50 or 51? I can never remember. I always call it Washington Pike. But yeah, right below my tail wheel right now, that's my neighborhood. That's pretty much where I live. So there you go. Now you know where I live in real life. Of course, in this fictitious FSX series, I actually live at the airport. You may have noticed I placed a house in the airport. That's always been like my dream, is to live in an airport. Of course, I know it would never come true, but you know, I can dream. Alright, so now that I've shown you where I live in real life, we're going to go and see downtown Pittsburgh. Now again, I'm going to give you the disclaimer, it is not 100% accurate, and I opted not to get any photoreal scenery because I just don't like the way it looks. Go figure, the photoreal scenery to me looks fake. I don't know why that is, but it looks fake to me. So yeah, we're going to follow the parkway. 376 again. This is heading towards downtown Pittsburgh, and right at the top of this hill is actually where my day job is. I work in a call center, and it's pretty much located right up here. There's also like a pretty big radio station by the name of WDVE that's up here, and a whole bunch of other buildings, and of course a ton of Starbucks. There's Starbucks all over the damn place. Okay, so we're going to follow the highway further in, and yes, it actually does look like this in real life. It actually does meander around. I've always said if you can navigate in Pittsburgh, you can navigate pretty much any town, because there's no such thing as east to west roads or north to south roads. It's just all over the friggin' place. Now right here, this is FSX taking liberties with the roads. There's actually a tunnel here. The road does not go over this mountain like this. It actually goes through what's known as the Fort Pitt Tunnel, which any newcomer to Pittsburgh, I highly recommend you do that, because when you pop out the other side, you get this view, the view of beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, otherwise known as the Golden Triangle. So let's take a look at the Golden Triangle here. They're missing some buildings, most notably the PPG Tower. PPG is a company that makes glass, so like all of your auto glass and aircraft glass and stuff like that, that's all PPG. We're missing a few other buildings, and you can see that little dome there. That is Mellon Arena. Mellon Arena is no longer there. It's been replaced by something else. Straight ahead, we've got the Cathedral of Learning, which I believe is University of Pittsburgh. That's their major building there. That's like a huge landmark. There's also a convention center along the Allegheny River, which is one of the 3 rivers that meets right at the point there. And we're going to take a closer look at the stadiums, because if you are a baseball or a football fan, you're probably going to want to know where these are. So we're going to pass over the Roberto Clemente Bridge, and there we have PNC Park, the home of the world-famous Pittsburgh Pirates. And then a little bit further down the road, you've got Heinz Field, where the even more world-famous Pittsburgh Steelers play. So let's just turn around here and get another look at the stadium. I think I can do this. This angle is kind of odd to try and fly the plane, but you'll have to bear with me there. Alright, so there we go. That is the new stadium. There used to be a stadium called Three Rivers Stadium there. They demolished that and built Heinz Field on top of it. So this is the official place where the Steelers play. Now, continuing our little jaunt downtown here, we're going to head back over to the Golden Triangle. And like I said, there are three rivers in this area. You've got the Allegheny to my left. You've got the Monongahela directly ahead past Mellon Arena. And you've got the Ohio, which starts at the point, and that's the same Ohio River that heads south of Ohio, that gives Ohio its name and its border. Okay, so now I'm going to take you across the Mon to an area that is near and dear to my heart. This is Southside. It is not nearly as residential as it looks here. There's a main drag there called Carson Street, where on either side there's like nightclubs and restaurants and all kinds of good stuff. The reason why this area is near and dear to my heart is because I spent many years in many different bands playing in just about every bar that's up and down that strip. So yeah, it definitely has a lot of sentimental value. I keep saying every time I go down there I'm going back to the scene of the crime. Love that place, love that place. So a huge thank you to all the bands that gave me the opportunity to play in Southside. And now what we're going to do is we're going to head to another airport in this area. We're going to go to Allegheny County Airport. So let's see if we can find it on the list here. Allegheny is also special to me because in real life when I was taking flight lessons, that's the airport that I flew out of. It's probably about 20 minutes from my house. Alright, let's see if we can get a touch and go here. Allegheny Tower, experimental November Victor Foxtrot 27 is 4 miles northwest with Juliet for touch and go.
Experimental November Victor Foxtrot 27, Allegheny Tower.
We are like really close, so they're probably just going to give us clearance.
Experimental Foxtrot 27, cleared.
There we go. I called that one.
Runway 10.
Clear touch and go, runway 10, experimental Foxtrot 27. Okay, so we're going to want to drop the gear. Flaps are already down and out. Looking good. This airport is located in an area called West Mifflin. There's also a really huge mall in that general neck of the woods. I flew in and out of this airport a few times when I was trying to get my private pilot's license. Obviously, I haven't quite accomplished that just yet because I kind of ran out of money. You do need money in real life in order to learn how to fly. So that's kind of why I've resigned myself for the time being with being a virtual pilot. But I will say that this airport is a really cool little airport. This actually used to be the major airport in the area. Like all the airlines used to come into this airport. It's really rinky-dink when you take a look at the inside of it. There's not much there. And obviously Pittsburgh International Airport is way better suited for commercial flight. But they didn't build Pittsburgh International until, I want to say, like the late 80s or early 90s or something like that. I want to say it might be the early 90s. I'll have to look it up again. But yeah, this airport is like the hub for general aviation in Allegheny County. So if you live in Pittsburgh and you're planning on learning how to fly, chances are you're probably going to be flying out of this airport. Unless you're like closer to the western side, in which case you'll fly out of Beaver County Airport, which is going to be our next stop after I do this touch and go. So alright, we are lined up on runway 10. Whoa, a little bit of lag there. I love this landing cam. Alright, let's see if I can get her centered up. Looking good. Here we go. And slight bounce, but you know what? That's alright. That is alright. That's probably as good as it's going to get. Okay, so let's add a little bit more power. And we'll do the go part of our touch and go. Now, if you do get like an introductory flight in the Pittsburgh area, this is where you're going to fly out of as well. I highly recommend you do that. I think it's like 75 bucks when I first did it years and years ago. I don't know if that's still the same price. But yeah, highly recommend that you do that because they take you around downtown. They follow like the rivers. So we're going straight for the Monongahela River right now. And I'm just waiting for the option to cancel landing clearance. So as soon as that pops up, we'll tell them, hey, we're not landing here. But yeah, you can see the Monongahela River up ahead, otherwise affectionately known as the Mon. Here we go. Allegheny Tower, experimental Foxtrot 27, cancel landing intention.
Experimental Foxtrot 27, no cancellation is received.
Okay, good deal. So we're going to head back towards downtown, and we're going to go past downtown following the Ohio River. So there you can see the Golden Triangle there, and back there is Allegheny County Airport, and there's the Mon. There is an amusement park right next to the Monongahela River by the name of Kennywood. It is extremely popular with the locals. It's definitely no Disney World, but for what it is, it's a good time had by all. So if you're ever in Pittsburgh, I'd highly recommend you spend a day and go to Kennywood. It's like a good old-fashioned amusement park, and Pittsburghers are really, really proud of Kennywood. Okay, so we are going to head back this way. And as soon as I line up, I'm just going to follow the river. Then I'm going to show you some of the southern side of the town here. In particular, Mount Washington, which is another of my favorite places to visit. Alright, so there we have the Mon. It's actually looking clean these days. Normally it looks like a dirty crap brown, but I guess FSX is doing it justice today, so I'm not even going to complain about it. Okay, so dead ahead we have the area that I told you about before, South Side, where I used to play a lot when I was playing bass in various rock bands around town. And behind South Side, on top of that hill, that is going to be Mount Washington. That's where we're aiming for. If you are a visitor or newcomer to Pittsburgh, you have to go to freaking Mount Washington. They have little areas that jut out from the road over the precipice, so you can actually get a really good look at downtown Pittsburgh. There's like a church up there where they're always having weddings, like constantly, every single weekend. Somebody's getting married there. And of course, the wedding party will end up going to these little observation points, and they'll take all their wedding pictures and stuff like that. There's restaurants up there that are hideously expensive, and to live up there is also hideously expensive. You can see why. Look at that. You got $1 million view. You can see all of downtown and surrounding areas, so it's just amazing. And on 4th of July, it is traditional for them to put a bunch of barges right where the three rivers meet, just past Point State Park, which is the little pointy end there. They'll put these barges filled with fireworks there. You'll go up to Mount Washington or some of the other areas around town, and you will watch the fireworks on 4th of July. An amazing display. I've tried to do it just about every year. I didn't do it this year because, well, let's face it, I just didn't feel like doing it. And if I remember correctly, I think I was making a video for you guys. I think that was my Tomcat night flight there over Miami. So yeah, this is Mount Washington, and there's a Fort Pitt Tunnel, which is one of the 3 major tunnels in town. The other 2 being the Liberty Tube and the Squirrel Hill Tunnel, which are both to the east of us. So there we go. We are leaving downtown and Heinz Field, and of course the casino just to the south of Heinz Field, which you can't see because FSX didn't generate it. And we're going to follow the Ohio. This area up ahead, this is called Neville Island, and there's really not much there except like a bunch of neighborhoods and some kind of sports complex. It's like a running joke amongst Pittsburghers, you know, if you're so cheap you talk about taking your woman to the islands. You're not talking about Jamaica, you're actually talking about this place, Neville Island. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting little location. I don't think I would ever live there. Something about being on the river and, you know, having it flood, yeah, bad mojo. I've already lived through one flood in Pittsburgh, and I really would not like to go through any others. So I try to live in places that are a little bit higher up away from the water. But yeah, this is the Ohio River. And like I said before, this is the same Ohio River that runs all underneath the state of Ohio. And I believe eventually it does spit you out into like the Mississippi. But this is where it starts. It starts in Pittsburgh. Coming up ahead, we've got the bridge for I-79. You will notice a lot of bridges in this town. They call Pittsburgh the city of bridges, and with good reason. There's like 239 or 240 bridges all throughout the general Pittsburgh area. Only in Pittsburgh will you find a bridge built to catch pieces of another bridge that falls. Don't even ask, just look it up, you'll see it. It's a bridge to nowhere, and they placed it underneath an aging bridge that had like little chips of concrete that were falling out. They built a bridge to catch the other bridge. Go figure. Things you can only see in Pittsburgh. Okay, so we are close to Cape Pitt. If you look off to the right, you will start to see Pittsburgh International. You can see where the air refueling wing is. Actually, there you go. There's a better view of the airport right there. We are going to be heading to another area that I used to live in. Actually, two other areas. The area that we're passing now is called Ambridge. I used to live there. You don't want to go to Ambridge, though. There's like nothing there. I think everybody's like hopped up on crack. And I'm not even kidding either. But on the other side of the river is another area called Monaca, which I used to live in very recently, like a couple of years ago. And in Monaca, there really isn't a whole hell of a lot going on. But be that as it may, it was a nice little area. The rent was cheap. I think I was paying like $400 for my apartment, which granted was a one-bedroom apartment, but still. Alright, let me lean out the mixture here a little bit. Okay, that should be good. So yeah, this is not technically in Pittsburgh. This is part of Beaver County, which is a neighboring county. Allegheny County is where Pittsburgh is. And then to the north of Allegheny County, you've got Butler. Oh, and I just realized we're still talking to Allegheny Tower, so let's see if we can tune in BVI, which is Beaver Valley International. There it is. Or Beaver County, actually. Okay, we're going to want to do a touch and go. They are directly ahead of us and off to the left near the Beaver River. Beaver County Tower, experimental November, Victor Foxtrot 27 is 10 miles southeast with Lima, touch and go.
Experimental November, Victor Foxtrot 27, Beaver County Tower, make straight in, runway 28, altimeter.
Alright, change my altimeter here. Make straight in, runway 28, experimental Foxtrot 27. Okay, so now we have a better look. Monaca is directly below me there, and like I said, that's an area that I used to live in. I actually used to live over a dance studio, so we have all these kids dancing to classical music all hours of the night. Try live streaming or making YouTube videos with all that racket going on. You never realize how loud kids can actually be. So that we have the Ohio River veering off to the left there, past Shippingport, which is the nuclear power plant, which we will see on the way back. And the Beaver River also branches off from the Ohio. So there's the Ohio heading back that way. And we are going this way, past the Beaver River. It's generally a lot of rural areas, but it's kind of deceptive because some of these towns are really big towns, like they've got a lot of population, but it doesn't look like it because all you see is the green and the trees. One of the trademark things about the Pittsburgh area, and in fact, about, oh cool, we just got clearance. Hold that thought.
Clear touch and go, left traffic, runway 28.
Clear touch and go, runway 28, experimental Foxtrot 27. So yeah, I started to say, one of the trademark things about southwestern PA is even though there's a lot of population, they're isolated in pockets. So you'll have a situation where, you know, you've got a whole bunch of people living in an area and then it's nothing but wilderness around for like a couple of miles, and then another whole pocket of people in another area, and it's just like that. There's really a lot of people there, but it doesn't look like it because there's just so much greenery, there's so much forest and wilderness. So yeah, even in Beaver County, which is, like I said, largely rural, they do have like some hot pockets of people, population, so to speak. Okay, now this is an airport that I have not flown into in real life, but I thought about so doing because, like I said, I do want to continue my private pilot's license. I don't know when I'm going to get around to doing that, but I do know that the EAA has a chapter here at this airport. So more than likely I'll end up coming out here instead of going to Allegheny Airport, which is probably like about an hour's drive west from where I live now. Would have been a lot shorter if I lived in Monaco, but obviously I'm no longer there. Okay, and yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like out here. I have to say, FSX is definitely on point when it comes to this. This is pretty much Beaver County right here. Okay, let's see if we can bring this bird in. We'll do another touch and go, and then we'll make our way back to Pittsburgh International, because honestly I think that's about everything that I can really show you in this area. Once you get outside of greater Pittsburgh region, there's not much but farms and, you know, little communities like this. There are a lot of really small airports around the place, so for a GA pilot, this is like an awesome place to be. You've got West Virginia dead ahead. There's tons of little airports in West Virginia. Past West Virginia, there's Ohio. There's tons of airports in Ohio. So yeah, you've got like a GA dream flying in this neck of the woods here. Okay, here we go, coming in. There's an Arby's on that corner too. It's a shame I can't stop. Whoa, little floaty there. A little floaty. And touch. And bounce. Lovely. Okay, well, I'm not stopping. We're going to go ahead and take off again. Then we're going to hang a left and head back towards the airport. There we go. So far, the T-6 Texan's been doing a really awesome job. Go ahead and bring the gear up again. I quite like this plane. I would love to fly one of these suckers in real life. Of course, part of the reason why I was inspired to do this too is because I was watching a whole bunch of Oshkosh videos. Apparently they had like 28 or 29 of these planes come in all at one time. Like everybody, I don't know where they originally came from, but they did like formation flying and came in to Oshkosh all en masse, just like one after the other. Texan, Texan, Texan. If I can find a link to the video, I'll probably post it below in the description, but you gotta see this. This is like amazing. Alright, Beaver County Tower, experimental Foxtrot 27, cancel landing intention.
Experimental Foxtrot 27, your cancellation is received.
Okay, there we go. Let's see if we can get K-Pitt back on the nearest airport list, and I'll go ahead and call for landing clearance. This will be final landing clearance. What page are they on? Clearly not on this page. Aha! There we go. Number 7, Pittsburgh International, K-Pitt. Alright, we'll tune the tower. And request a full stop landing. Pittsburgh Tower, experimental November Victor Foxtrot 27 is 18 miles northwest with Echo to land.
Experimental November Victor Foxtrot 27, Pittsburgh Tower, big flight traffic, runway 28.
Okay, so we're landing the same way we took off, to the west. Fly right downwind, runway 28 right, experimental Foxtrot 27. Okay, cool beans. Alright, so that is the nuclear power plant at Shippingport, which is also in Beaver County. That's a real thing. That does exist there. So if there was ever like a Chernobyl type accident, pretty much the entire Pittsburgh region would be done for. But yeah, we're not going to overfly that because in real life you don't overfly nuclear power plants. That is a recipe for jail time right there. And we're going to acknowledge their border and fly a little bit to the left of them on our way to the airport, which you can see dead ahead. There's also a little lake that I used to go kayaking on dead ahead. Alright, so there we have another view of Shippingport. I don't even know if that nuclear power plant actually powers my area, because there's like so many different energy choices in this area, so I would assume it does, but don't hold me to that. All I know is my electric bill is high enough as it is, so they better be getting their money's worth out of me. Alright, so I started to say earlier there is a little lake up ahead. that I used to go kayaking. And here it is. Yeah, there's like all little areas like this that you can find if you're into water sports and stuff like that. There's another one further north, but we won't get to that one just yet. I believe this is Raccoon Creek, if I'm not too mistaken. Oh, what is going on at the airport? Whoa! Somebody's coming in. Well, let's see if we can see them there. Oh, damn, there's another one coming in. Okay, so there's two planes coming in on the same runway that I'm trying to get to. This could get interesting, folks. This could get really interesting. And it is a full moon evening, so you can see the moon there as she's rising. Alright, I still can't see these guys. Where in the hell are they? Okay, we're a little bit closer now, and I still cannot see these guys. I should be able to see their lights at least, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to orbit, like, right here to give them enough of a chance to land. Yeah, see, they're all getting clearance to land. Oh, I don't think that's going to go so well with two of them so close together. Yeah. About that. One of the two of them is going to get waved off. I just know it. But in the meantime, I kind of want to stay clear of that traffic. So, like I said, we're just going to orbit right here. I'm sure the people of Coriopolis won't mind me flying over their houses. If this were McKee's Rocks, they would probably be shooting my plane down. Not saying McKee's Rocks is bad, but, yeah. Not one of the places that I like to visit. Let's just put it that way. Alright, let's see if we can see these suckers yet. Well, we probably won't see anything from this angle, but at least this will give you a better look at the plane. And, of course, the scenery that we're flying over. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving the T-6 Texan. Alright, so there's the airport. And I am starting to see these guys. Okay, there's one. Where's the other one? Oh, wow, they are close together. Yeah, this is not going to work. Somebody is going to get waved off. Mark my words on this one. There is no way in hell those two planes can be that close coming in. Not happening. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do, whoever ends up getting waved off, that'll be my cue to enter the pattern. Meanwhile, I'll keep circling here.
Wisconsin 35901, go around.
Oh, there we go. That is my cue. Alright, let's see if we can get a better look here. Yep, sure enough, he's going missed. And looks like they're going to let the lady land here. Oh, cool. Follow the aircraft on final. Got it. Clear to land, runway 28 right, experimental Foxtrot 27. Alright, sucker. Sorry about your luck. Don't mind if I take your spot, do you? Okay, so she's almost touched down now. And since 28 right is kind of set back, it's going to take her a little while to have wheels down. But as soon as I can confirm that she is wheels down, I'm going to go ahead and turn the base leg and begin our descent. So yeah, we're probably going to need gear and flaps and all that good jazz there. Start with the gear. Looking good. This is a good thing. I'm liking this. Alright, flaps. Okay, looks like she is on the runway now, so we're just waiting for her to get off the runway before I turn to final. Beautiful sunset. Not very realistic looking sunset, but still beautiful nonetheless. Okay, she should be getting off the runway any second now. I hope.
1319er, contact ground on 121.9er.
Aha, that's what I've been waiting to hear. Okay, I'm swinging around.
1319er.
So there we've got runways 28 left, 28 center, and 28 right. In real life, 28 center is currently closed. They've been working on that runway for like the last year and a half or so. But we're going to use 28 right because that's closest to where we need to be. Okay, so she is officially off the runway and off to the side, so this should be perfect. We're going to go ahead, touch down, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a U-turn on the runway and just head towards taxiway November, since that's going to take us right back to the house and my parking spot. You may notice I've got these little green makeshift hangars there. That's kind of like my thing. I love those things. Alright. So I'm really hoping you all enjoyed my little virtual tour of the greater Pittsburgh, Southwest PA area. I wish I could show you a hell of a lot more, but obviously I don't want this video to be too long. It's bad enough we're already creeping up on the 40-minute mark here. But needless to say, I do hope that you've enjoyed that. My plan in the future is to continue the story series, so myself and Alianis will be heading out west, ultimately trying to make it to Portland, Oregon. But I haven't done the flight plan as of yet, so I haven't mapped out how many episodes it's going to take and what airports we're going to stop at. So for now, you'll see... Oh, that was a bounce. For now, you'll see little side missions here. Alright, so we're going to make a UE right here. And look at that.
Contact ground on 121.9er.
There's UPS, otherwise known as UPS. Okay, going to 121.9, experimental Foxtrot 27. Hope they don't mind me running all over the grass here. It's a tail dragger, it can handle it. And look at that beautiful moon. Okay, we want northeast parking. Pittsburgh ground, experimental November Victor Foxtrot 27, taxi to northeast parking.
Experimental November Victor Foxtrot 27, taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Bravo 2 Bravo November.
Yeah, I don't even need the cheat sheet for this one. Taxi to fuel, experimental Foxtrot 27. Wait, taxi to fuel? That's odd. I think they mean taxi to parking. Okay, so that'll just about do it for my little virtual tour here. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Just giving you a little bit of a glimpse into my real life and what I would ultimately love to be doing around here if I actually had the money to continue my flight lessons. But be that as it may, I hope you enjoyed it. I know I certainly enjoyed making this. And as always, you can find me on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/BelGeode. You can find me on Hitbox at www.hitbox.tv/BelGeode. Facebook at BelGeode 2015 and Twitter at BelGeode. And let me go ahead and open up the canopy here real quick. Come on, sucker, unlock. There we go. There we go. And what the hell kind of plane is that? Is that what she's flying? Interesting. Okay, I've never seen that before. Okay, so as we make our way to my little makeshift hangar here, once again, I do want to thank you all for watching. It really does mean a lot to me when you all like and comment, so feel free to like this video before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not already done so. That way you'll get notifications as to when I put any of the games that I play online, whether it be this, or DCS World, or Black Desert, or any of the other multiple games that I play. Alrighty, folks. Here is my parking spot. Custom made, just for me. Alright, so we're going to wind this bird down here. And thank you once again for accompanying me on this little journey around my stomping grounds. Go ahead and kill the engine here. And we'll turn off the lights in a second. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Ciao!